Hi, namaste. Oh, so this is going to be the very first take of a full 60-minute yin class. So I want to welcome you to find a very comfortable place in your home, and in terms of any props that you like to use, I feel the more props the better. So you may have a blanket that's rolled up and allows you to have padding under your knees or under your hips. I'll be using the bolsters and the blocks throughout the class, but also typically traditional yin, you don't actually need to use any apparatuses. It's just generally just you and the earth. And so we are going to get started in just a moment, but also as a heads up, I'm keeping time the old-fashioned way. So I'll be monitoring our shapes and how much time that we spend there. Most of the positions we're going to stay in for about 4 minutes or so, 4 to 5 minutes with some time to transition. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So just go ahead and allow yourself to just come to your mat, and we'll get started in either a child's pose, so knees wide, sitting back onto your heels, allowing your heart and your chest to come to the ground, and walking your hands out in front of you. You can either take this posture, or if you like to do puppy stretch instead, you can actually come up, bring your legs a little closer under heels, under your knees under your hips, and again walking your hands out in front of you, making a connection with the earth and allowing your heart and your chest to sink down into your mat. So whenever you find the posture, go ahead and take a few moments to get settled. We're just going to be here while we get centered, giving ourselves time to separate from the activity and the excitement of the last few days. So just allowing yourself to feel your mat, to stretch your fingers wide and feel them making a connection with your mat, with the ground, and at the same time looping your shoulders away from your ears as you sit back in your hips if you're in child's pose, or as you allow your hips just to remain long and lengthen your spine in that puppy stretch. So taking a few moments just to breathe, not controlling the breath just yet, just natural breath. As you are settling to this posture, you may be able to pay attention to the depth of your breath. So as you're inhaling, feeling your belly make connection with your thighs. As you continue to inhale, feeling your breath rise towards the back of your chest. And as you exhale, feeling yourself sinking down deeper to the earth, feeling stable, safe, supported by the earth, and just allowing your body to settle. Giving yourself permission today that your body is in a different place than it was the last time you were on your mat, and that there are no expectations, no judgments, just doing what feels right in your body. If you're pressing into the earth, feel your hands engage. Feel the strength of a light grip, allowing your underarms to open towards the ground, to feel that stretch as your heart and your body sinks down deeper. Maybe appropriate to go ahead and change to pranayama breath, or Ujjayi breathing, pardon me. So deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, your lips remain closed. And it's as if you were fogging a mirror, feeling the sensation, the audible sound of your breath as you exhale. Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead and press into your hands. Allow your body and your hips, everything to rise. Come up for a quick tabletop. So your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your belly is pulled in. You're pressing into the earth so that you have length under your arms, as if your arms were, your triceps were pulling into your chest, into your underarms. Let's do a couple quick cat-cows. So as you inhale, dropping your belly, putting the curve in your spine, and as you exhale, rounding, head drops, looking at your knees. Very slow, just a little bit of movement before we get started. Just a couple cat-cows. All right, now you can tuck your toes, pressing your hips up. Come through down dog for just a moment. As you inhale, allow your right leg to rise up, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand, making connection with the earth. You can drop down to your left knee, allow that top of the foot to make contact with the ground on your left foot. We're going to set up for dragon. So with dragon, I like to use a block. It helps me to get started in the posture. You're going to allow your right hip to pull back as your left hip is coming forward, putting length in your spine. And as you're able to, you can either come down to where you're pressing into the earth with your hands. You can come down to your forearms, just allowing yourself to feel what's right for your body today. So as your right hip is actively coming back and your left hip is coming forward, we're going to start the timer. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. Yin practice, you're going to hear a couple references to finding your edge. The edge is where you're feeling sensation right now. So I'm feeling it in the front of my hip, the IT band, those parts of your hip flexors that help you to walk. As you deepen into the posture, and as you spend a little more time here, your connective tissues, your fascia, it's going to stretch and open up, and you may even be able to find a little deeper progression into the posture. But always listening to your body. Checking in with your breath, allowing yourself just a moment to, again, feel the depth of your inhale and the full release as you exhale and squeeze out all that breath. Another principle of Yin is to allow time, gravity, and kindness for where your body wants to go today. So after you've found the edge, now we're about halfway through the posture. If you want to have a little more further progression, you can walk your right heel a little off the mat. Maybe come on to the knife edge of your foot, further opening up that hip. This is a dragon posture. So this posture is an advanced progression of the shape. But if you're not ready for that, you can also just back up and remain in lizard. Got 2 more minutes, so listening to your body. Just allowing time and gravity to open up those parts of your body where we are bound, where our energy, where our emotions can be locked in. The Yin practice is the alternative to the active Yang, the active style of yoga that we commonly see in a power class, where there's lots of movement and strength. The Yin is the opposite. Yin is the ease, the sweetness, the patience, and the kindness. We have about 1 more minute there. Good time to check in with your breath. As you're inhaling, feel your belly rise. And as you exhale, send that air out, releasing that which no longer serves you. On your next inhale, send your breath and your awareness to, if you were wearing jeans, it would be like the back pocket of your jeans. So deep inhale, seeing your breath and your intention swirling around the backside of your hips. And fully exhale and release it, let it go. We're about to exit this posture very easily and slowly. So I encourage you to make contact with the fingertips, press into the ground. You're simply going to take your right leg, bend the knee, allow that right ankle to come underneath behind your left wrist, and your knee is going to come out to the side. We're going to set up for swan. So swan, I enjoy using a block here underneath my back of my hip. This is time to check in with your left leg. Make sure that it's straight behind you, allowing your hips to remain even and flush. And before you sink in, just taking a moment to pull your shoulders away from your ears, maybe finding a length in your spine. Feel free to grab a bolster or another block for wherever you want to sink into your posture. And as you inhale, find that last bit of length. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly allowing yourself to come down. Maybe your head is resting on your hands or on the block. You can put a block underneath your chest, allowing your head just to hang over slightly. It's a very nice release. Just taking a moment to sink into this position, scanning your body, bringing your awareness to the sensation, to the depth of the posture. If you feel like you would like a little more of a extension of your edge, you want to press yourself a little bit further, I encourage you to guide your left foot over to the back side, almost to the right side of your mat. So the top of the foot remains flexed, on contact with the ground, but it's at a bit of a diagonal. And so now, in this posture, as you are inhaling, sending your breath to your left side of your rib cage, feeling your ribs rise. And as you exhale, bringing everything back down to your midline as you sink down deeper into the earth.
Feels good. Feels real good. Take a few more breaths at your leisure. Just using your breath, using this time to guide your awareness and to stay present in your mat and in your body. You may, if you used a block or you're using a bolster, you may see that at some point your body relaxes a little bit deeper. You may no longer need to keep those tools and those devices. So checking in with what your body is telling you and making an adjustment. We have a little over a minute or so longer, so no rush. Again, coming into contact with your breath and awareness of feeling your inhale pressing into your foot. Now as you inhale, I encourage you to send your breath to each of your 4 pinkies. So your 2 pinky fingers and your 2 pinky toes. As you inhale, imagine your breath going to all these corners of your body. A full body inhale of energy, fresh air, new life, and now a deep exhale. Squeeze all of that out. Release all of that pent up old air. And again, just sending your awareness and your attention across your full body, all 4 pinkies. Inhale. Inhale a little bit further. And now exhale, release, let it all go. Stay here for another 4 more breaths, and just making contact with your body, feeling your belly pressing into your calves, sinking down deeper, just letting it go. If you were pressing into this posture, just encourage you just to release, not put any more effort, just to sink, just to feel like honey dripping down a biscuit. Softening. Take one more deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Coming back to your mat, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. So allow yourself just to kind of rise and leaning over towards the right side of your mat, your right of your hips. You're going to keep your right knee where it is, but now your left foot is going to swoop right in front of the top of your mat. And if this is available for you, it's actually going to continue crossing over the right knee, and your left knee will be on top of the right. And this is a great opportunity if you have a bolster or you have a blanket to, if you haven't already, propped up on it. The next posture we're going to do in shoelace, it's really important. You want to keep both of your hips and your sit bones attached to the ground. So I find
or just attached to something. If it's the bolster, if it's the blanket, that is definitely possible. So we're going to allow our feet to make contact with the ground. Inhale, finding length in our spine. Exhale, slowly, slowly coming down with a flat back, remaining as much length in your spine as you can. Maybe you have a block here to rest your head on. Maybe fully bend over into the posture. But just taking a moment before you bend in the neck, just to find as much length in your spine and to settle in this position. We're going to stay here for 4 minutes. So this is a very deep hip opening position. Again, sending your breath and your awareness to, if you were wearing a pair of denim jeans, what would be the back pockets. So as you're inhaling, feeling your rib cage, feeling your belly rise. And as you exhale, imagine those back pockets of those jeans just releasing, finding length and stability as you sink down deeper towards your mat. Here, where we are bowing to ourself, it's a very internal position. So allowing the stillness of your body to transfer into stillness of your mind. As you're opening up these parts of your hips and your body, this is where our emotions, this is where our yearnings are maintained. So it's easy for the mind to go other places. And so if that's happening, it's okay. There's no judgment. Just on your next breath, inhale. Feel your belly press into your thighs. As you exhale, imagine yourself just sinking down deeper into your mat, coming back to your breath. If this full position is not available for you, or you're in any pain, you don't want to experience any shooting pain, so an alternative is to allow your right knee, let's see, yes, what am I doing? Actually, you're going to extend your left foot, and in this situation, you're going to cross over your right is going to cross over the left, and you'll just begin to forward fold into half shoelace. But if you're in the full shoelace, we're about halfway in, so a couple more minutes, just allowing yourself to check in. On your next breath, as you inhale, feel the back of your rib cage, the back of your chest, all of these areas in your frame to rise. And as you exhale, just actively release. If you were holding on, if you were pressing in, just soften your focus and just allow yourself to sink, just to sink down, feeling your own body, feeling the heaviness as you connect with the earth. Of course, if you have any cats, they love yin. This is the time for them to get your attention. And if they are fighting for your attention, it's okay to play along. But if your day and your agenda and your to-do list are fighting for your attention, then we're going to take this last moment and just allow yourself to look at this item that is crossing your mind, bring it in close to your frame of reference, and now imagine that you're holding a balloon. And the balloon now surrounds this item, this image, this voice, this self-talk, whatever it is.
And on your next breath, inhale deeply. And as you exhale, see yourself filling the balloon, blowing all your air into the balloon. It's getting bigger, and now it's a heavy burden. So do one more deep breath in. Fill the balloon further. It's getting light and buoyant with all of this air. And now just allow yourself to imagine releasing the balloon, watching it drift away into the sky. It goes up. You feel it letting go. You see it drifting into space. One more moment here. If you like, you can actually press yourself up back to seated, tall, and we're going to take our left hand behind our left shoulder like a kickstand, and we're going to add a little bit of an opening twist. So right hand can come to the outside of the left knee. Your frame is going to remain balanced and not leaning too far back, just shoulders are straight. As you inhale, finding lengthening your spine, a small engagement of your belly to protect the spine. As you exhale, just opening up to the left, this light twist is going to engage your full spine. It has digestive benefits, flexibility. Even now, about halfway into this posture, you may feel that you can get a little bit deeper in your twist. Taking 3 more breaths. Deep inhale, rising up, allowing your crown to lift. As you exhale, slightly add a little bit of movement. Listening to your body, of course. All right, as you come out of it, go ahead and allow your hands to slowly drape over your body and your legs. Bringing your hands to the right side of the ground next to you on your mat. This is going to be the fun transition, the fun sequence that you will remember. So you're going to actively pressing into your palms and your hands. At the same time, engaging your legs and your feet. You're going to rise, lift those hips, guide your hands over to the other side of your mat, twisting, turning, and settling back down into shoelace on the other side. So now the right knee is on top of the left, and we just transitioned. So checking in with your hips. Again, sit bones stay connected to the earth. Inhale, rising up, finding length. Exhale, sinking down, keeping that flat spine, finding your posture, finding what's right for you. Noticing if your right side and your left side feel differently than each other. It's absolutely a-okay. Sometimes when I can't reach my block, I will use a bolster to reach my head. So again, the more tools you have to find your edge and to find release, this is the magic of Yin. Listen to your body. Using your deep breath in to feel strong in the back of your ribs and the back of your frame. And then just to sink down deeper. Again, if you were wearing those denim jeans, sending your breath to the back of your hips, where those pockets are. And then that's the area where this posture has its stability and strength. So that backside of your hips is really allowing your back to remain flat. And by putting your attention there, you actually can get a safer, deeper position of the posture. Again, this is another opportunity where you can check in with where are your pinkies, your pinky toes, your pinky fingers. As you inhale, feeling the back of your ribs rise and lift, and as you exhale, sinking down deeper, feeling the connection of your fingers, your toes, everything on your mat. And just invite you just to sink, just to let it all go. Just to allow yourself, no longer pushing or finding the edge, but just to soften. Just to allow yourself to be. Less doing, more being. Let's stay here for 6 more breaths. Slowly, slowly, whenever you're ready, go ahead and allow yourself to rise up. We're going to take that same last minute with a twist. So your right hand now comes behind your back as a kickstand, actively into the ground from connection. Inhale, rising up with your chest. Exhale, beginning to twist to the right. Left hand is on the outside of the right knee. Shoulders away from the ears. Again, a small bit of engagement in your core just to keep your back safe. Inhale, lift, feel the rise of the apana. Exhale, opening up to the sides, sinking down into your hips with the prana. Staying here for 3 more breaths. When you're ready to release, go ahead and let your hands to swing and drape to the side. You can take a small little counter stretch to the left if you like. We're now going to transition to the swan that we started on the other side. So now your right leg is going to lift and swoop behind you. So now that is going to be the leg that's going to be long, while your left knee and your left foot are going to be active on the ground. As you can readjust, you can get your blocks, you can put that block underneath your left hip. So again, the right foot is straight back, the top of the foot is down. As you inhale, finding length, feeling that your hips are level and even. shoulders away from the ears, and as you exhale, slowly, slowly, keeping your spine flat and long as you come down to your mat. So you can come down and you can put, again, you can put your head on a block, on a bolster. You can make contact with the ground. Just using this time and space for yourself, being in the moment, remaining present. You took the progression on the earlier swan to nudge that foot back towards the side of your mat. So again, the right foot would now creep a little bit towards the left corner of your mat, but you're actively pressing the top of the foot down. You can again come into contact with all of your pinkies, but if you took that progression, as you inhale, you're going to feel your right rib cage open and feel the space as you inhale, and as you exhale, sink down to your midline. Bring everything back, your heaviness, your weight back to your center, and just stay there. You may have found that your body is relaxing, so if you had any blocks or things that were supporting you, or you may be able to adjust yourself for just a moment before we sink into more stillness and finish this hold for another minute and a half. If your mind is wandering, that's okay. Just use the opportunity to bring it back to your space. Usually in a yin practice, you don't have to control your breath, but it may be helpful to have a little 4-count box breath. So while we're finishing this posture, I invite you to inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Pause. One more time. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. Pause. Now let go. Go back to your normal breath cycle. We'll just stay here for another moment. Take one more deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Just sink into your spot. On your next inhale, walking your hands underneath your shoulders. Begin to press up. You can make contact by tucking your right foot we're going to now bring this left leg on the outside of our left hand, setting up for the dragon and lizard progression that we took earlier. So if you want to use a block, you're probably going to realize that this side of your body is now nice and open. So you actually are coming at it from a looser position than before. So that's nice. But knee is right over the ankle. Hips are, left hip is coming back as your right hip is coming forward. You're long in your spine, shoulders are away from your ears. And you can find the progression. Maybe that's coming down to your forearms. Maybe you're staying here with one hand on a block. You can also open up with a little bit of a twist if you like. Just allowing yourself to listen to your body. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. So if you're feeling nice and relaxed and you want to give yourself a little more permission to try that lizard, flying lizard, you can allow your left foot to inch out further to the side of your mat and come onto the knife edge of the foot, opening up that hip even further. But just remembering to stay with your breath, not pressing yourself, not straining. If you have any shooting pains, allowing yourself to be kind and back out of the posture. Mark Twain once said that kindness is the language that the deaf can hear and that the blind can see. And so we often focus on being kind to others and kind to nature, but Yin allows us to apply that internally. Find a moment to be kind to ourselves, to remove any expectation of how your body should feel or what you should be able to accomplish, and just to enjoy the moment, maybe to put a little less effort and a little more ease, whether that means backing out of the posture some, using a block, just that you enjoy what your body is doing in the present space. Taking this moment to find stillness, to sink down a little bit further into your edge, resisting the urge to fidget, just coming back into awareness of your breath, deep breath in, full exhale, let it all go. Again, just a couple more breaths. It might be at the right time just to sink in, to remove all of the effort and just to feel your body, the stability of the earth holding you as you soften, your head can hang. One more deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it all go. Walking your hands back in, pressing into the earth. Go ahead and tuck your right foot. You are going to engage your glutes as you lift that left leg for three-legged dog. So inhale here. As you exhale, lower the leg, lower to your knees. We're going to find a little bit of movement. Coming back to tabletop, so taking a few moments to drop your belly, round your spine, moving with your breath. Maybe an opportunity to scan your body. It's very common in Yin for the length of the postures to have almost like a sense of a small aching once you come out of it. So that's because we don't really focus so much time on these deeper connective tissues in our fascia and within our joints. And so by spending this time there, it's not uncommon to feel a little bit of of an ache. Now, if you feel a shooting pain, again, that's what we don't want. We don't want any shooting pain. So now we're going to set up for Sphinx. So if you have a bolster or a blanket, you may want to put that underneath your root chakra, your pelvis area, anything that's going to allow you to deepen your connection of your hips into the ground. It feels really nice. Also, you can bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and allow your hands to spread your fingers wide, pressing into your mat. So your feet are both touching the ground, the tops of your feet are down. As you're inhaling, feeling your pelvic floor, your root chakra grounding into the earth. So the upper mobility in this back bend as you inhale and find length in your spine is all driven by the active press of your thighs and your legs and your hips into the earth. For men, by allowing your breath to go towards the reproductive parts of your body in this posture and firming into the earth, you are actually able to stimulate a lot of circulation and blood flow, and it can be a very effective treatment for erectile dysfunction. As you're inhaling, again, your thighs, your legs are pressing into the earth, allowing your upper body to be strong as you rise up, opening up your heart. Gaze can be a little forward, or perhaps you close your eyes, but just imagining that you are holding a little apple underneath your chin as your shoulders are away from the ears. If you'd like a little more progression, I invite you to walk your hands in front, engaging your shoulders away from the ears, opening up for seal. So again, hips, thighs, actively pressing into the earth, allowing a little more of a upper extension, opening up your abs, opening up your heart lines, but staying with your breath, most importantly. Let's take 3 more breaths in, 3 more breaths out, and then we'll go to the next posture. Anytime, if you're done with your seal, feel free to come back down, lower through, back to Sphinx. Take 1 more breath in. As you exhale, allow your elbows to come out wide beside you. Head comes to a nice little pillow from your hands. Lifting your feet, maybe do a little bit of windshield wipers, allowing your hips to sway your legs back and forth, sending a little bit of movement. When you're done, we're going to come back, and now your right hand is going to slide along the ground in a T shape. So not too far in a lower, like towards your underarm, but actually you can do a perfect T. Or if you want a little bit of a progression, you can actually do like a small T with a little bit of a upper incline degree. This is going to be a very nice shoulder and chest opener. And allowing your head to either come onto a block to make contact with the ground, but allowing your left foot to cross over the back of your body, giving yourself the opportunity to set up for this very nice, somewhat of a twist. So it's more of a rotation of your left foot, and your left arm can also go behind your body, but you're allowing yourself really to support yourself with a lot of focus in your upper body and on this bicep, tricep area. So just staying here. But the way that you really get the most out of this position is check in with your right hand, the hand that's actively pressing into the earth, and really send your awareness and your intention to the palm of your hand to make a connection with the earth as you're inhaling, feeling your rotator cuff, your shoulders, your chest to open, and as you exhale, feeling your body sinking down into this posture as your rotation and your hips are getting heavier behind you. So another time to check in with the pinkies, feeling that that pinky is firmly pressing into the earth and that your palm is actively engaged. Putting your head whatever feels comfortable for you, so you can rest it on a block, you can rest it on a mat. I'm going to stay here for 3 more breaths. All right, on your next breath, go ahead and slowly remove any blocks on your head. Begin to rotate, allowing yourself to come out of this position slowly, making connection with the earth. Now your right hand is going to slide in while your left hand now slides along the ground all the way out to that T. Again, if you want that a little more progressive hold, then it's a bit of a T with the upper incline. Your hand walks a little bit higher than the shoulder, than the level shoulder. Right hand comes under the right shoulders, presses into the earth, allowing you to rotate and open up. Finding your fullest expression of the posture, whatever your body says, allowing yourself to be different on this side than on your left. But again, bringing your awareness into pressing into the left palm now. So now the left pinky, the left ring finger, the left thumb, all actively engaged at the same level of effort as you guide your breath towards your left shoulder. As you pull your shoulder away from your ears, adding a little more extension even in your spine, the thoracic spine. Sending your next breath to the extremities of your hand that's pressed down. At the same time, checking with your other pinkies, your pinky toes, your other pinky finger, everything on the earth. Feeling one deep breath in. And as you inhale, imagine all of your air going to these extremities. And as you exhale, sink down deeper into the position. Allow yourself just to relax, just to let it go. If at any time you start to feel any tingling or like your arm is falling asleep, that's a good time to go ahead and transition out. So whenever you're ready, slowly allowing your body to rotate. Now coming back to your mat, we're going to set up for frog. So you can press yourself into tabletop if you need to grab any kind of bolster or anything to help allowing yourself to find frog. Basically, your right and your left knees are going to be bent, like if you had frog legs, allowing your hips to come down to the earth. So for some people, they can get that position without a bolster. I find that I enjoy using a bolster to start because you really want your knees to be bent, your ankles and your feet all to be engaged on the ground, and for it to be comfortable because we're going to be here for several minutes. So you're always able to take half frog, which is one leg at a time. So you can keep the right knee bent or to start. and extend the left knee, extend the left leg if that is more comfortable. But allowing yourself with your spine long and lean to find, to reach your crown forward as you inhale. And again, as you exhale, just sinking down into the posture, feeling your hips, feeling your pelvic floor, all of these areas begin to come down to the earth. Your hands can rest on your head can rest on your hands, your head can rest on a block, on a bolster. You can put your third eye on your fingers and face straight, or if it feels better to gaze to one side or to the other. We're going to be here for 3 more minutes. Coming into contact with your breath, feeling your belly as it's firmly engaged against the earth, how wide and expansive and deep your breath is. And as you exhale, feeling your body sink down deeper towards the ground, releasing that which no longer serves you. Take another deep breath in. Maybe perhaps you send your breath and your awareness to those denim jeans and those pants, those legs in the back. And as you exhale, feeling the sides of your left and your right foot, connecting with the ground, your ankles, everything is firmly connected to the earth. Maybe noticing the length of the fullness of your inhale. If you wanted to, you could inhale for 10 to 15 seconds. So much more differently than when we're in a active asana practice with lots of movement where the breaths are shortened. So here, feeling your belly engage and grow wide, and your lungs expand to the left and to the right of your mat as you fully inhale, slowly, taking in more air. Pausing for just a moment. And now a full, just as long an exhale, allowing all of that air just to ring out, to release that which no longer serves you, whether that's emotion, or whether that's pain, or whether it's stress. Just feeling your hips to relax and to ease into this posture. And if you are adding any amount of effort, I encourage you just to allow now your moment, these final breaths in this very, very restorative position to just be no effort, just ease. Just allow yourself to go. Maybe you turn your head to the other side if you were facing one direction. At the moment, go ahead and scan your body. notice if you feel a little bit more open in your hips than when we first into this position. If you can tell that your body slowly starts to relax, to release, to allow things just to sink down a little bit deeper. Stay here for 3 more breaths. As you inhale, now bring your awareness to the lifting of the back of your frame, of your rib cage as you inhale. Even in this position, you see how the buoyancy of your breath allows you to find a little more length, a little more lift. And as you exhale, allow yourself just to sink into this posture, to feel stable and secure by the earth. If you feel any pain, any sharp-shooting pain, just allowing yourself to breathe, to focus on your breath. Sometimes I get a small little muscle spasm or a little itty-bitty cramp that I know is just a distraction, and instead of fidgeting or coming out of the posture, I just focus on my breath. If you're tracking the inhale and the exhale of your breath, your body is not going to be able to recognize that small cramp or that muscle fatigue. So just always coming back to the current moment, feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. That was nice. So go ahead and allow your hands slowly to come to your shoulders. You can straighten your legs out. You might feel that little bit of stiffness, soreness from being in that posture. Allowing yourself, if you want to do windshield wipers, to bend the knees. Allow your legs to rock to the left or to the right. We're going to do a big transition. So pushing yourself up, we're now going to come over and lay on our backs. So however you want to get there, we're going to meet just laying flat. We're going to start. You can have a mat or a blanket underneath your hips, but you can just lay on the ground, laying down flat, allowing your hands and your feet just to fall where they will. We're going to set up for Banasana, banana pose. So we're going to start with the right. So while you're laying on the fullness of your mat, pick up your hips, allow yourself just to scooch your right hip to the right side of your mat a little bit while your feet and your torso remain where they are. And now allow your left foot to come out towards the left side of the mat and guide your right foot over the left ankle. So and likewise, your right hand is going to go towards the left side of your mat, and your left hand is going to grab your right wrist. So you really have this side opening, side flexion, shaped like a banana. And check in with your hips. This is where if you're on a mat or you're on a blanket or even a bolster, you want to have that connection with the ground. So both hips actively, firmly sunken to the earth. And now as you inhale, sending your breath to the right side of your rib cage, feeling that opening sensation, even sometimes all the way up to your chest, to your underarms. And as you exhale, feeling your hip flexors, everything just begin to engage, to feel that sensation. You can certainly find an edge in this position, but it's really nice just to play with that edge, taking a couple more deep breaths just to find the fullness of your posture, and then just to let go. As you lengthen your inhale, just taking in the deepest breath that you've had today, feeling your ribs, your chest rise. And as you exhale, feeling your body sinking down deeper into the earth, your hips firmly supported by the earth. Feeling your side body just begin to slowly open. Just take 2 more breaths here. When you're ready, go ahead and release your hands. Slowly allow your right foot to come back over to your mat. Taking a moment just to come through center. Bringing your hips line in center with the mat. Bending your knees, but walking your feet to the far sides of your mat. And again, we're going to do a little bit of movement. So as you inhale, windshield wiper your legs up. And as you exhale, allow them just to slowly drift to both sides. Just putting a little bit of movement here before we go to the other side. So in your next inhale, pause, allow your feet to fall out in front of you. And now we're going to do that small little scooch, bringing your left hips to the left side of your mat. The right foot is going to walk over to the right side. Left foot is going to cross over the right ankle. And your right hand is going to softly take in the left wrist, guiding your hand to the far right corner, connecting with your hips that are all on the ground. Quick body scan, make sure that you're safe and protected as you now send your breath to your left side body, feeling your ribs on this side open, stretch, finding that length even in your spine, and as you exhale, sinking down deeper into the posture. Resisting the urge for your mind to wander. Again, bringing it back, whether that is thinking of the red balloon, controlling your breath, but just staying present. Staying here for 5 more breaths. Ready to come out, go ahead and allow your hands to release. Slowly allow that left foot to come back over, guiding your hips back to the center of your mat. Again, pulling those knees in, little windshield wiper to the left, sway to the right, sway. A little bit of movement. When you're ready, go ahead and pull your knees to your chest. Hug yourself, your knees in tightly, feeling your low spine, your low back, long against the mat. So actively pulling your knees to your chest while you feel and make contact with the backside of your ribs, your back, long and lean along the back of your spine. And we're going to set up for happy baby. So we're going to stay there for a few moments. So you may, whereas you might in a power class, you may reach all the way for your feet. If that's not available for you today, then you can always just put your hands on your shins or your ankles. What's most important is that you're going to bring your knees back towards your shoulders. Your shoulders are away from your ears. Your spine is remaining on the ground. You can put a little flexion in your foot and say you take your hands to the outside or to the inside of the feet, whatever's comfortable for you. But remember, we're going to stay here for 3 minutes. So it's going to be a lot of opportunity for your body to settle. So just making sure that you're comfortable. And as you take your deep breath in, feeling your body and your legs even begin to lift, and as you exhale, feeling your knees coming closer to your shoulders and to the earth. See how your ribs rise, your belly makes your thighs even have a small little lift with the buoyancy of your breath. And as you exhale, you sink down deeper, remaining long spine connected to the earth the entire time. This could be both a very active posture. When you are in a power class, you can put a lot of effort into straining, into bending those knees and bringing them back. And I just encourage you just to feel that you're connected, your gravity is centered, and allow maybe a little less effort in your hips and in your thighs to press into your hands. And just know that your hands are safely holding your feet. And just allow yourself to, again, pull those shoulders away from the ears, and just let go some of that effort. Just feeling your body heavily just connected to the earth with the weight and the force of gravity and the stability of this wonderful planet that supports you. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here together. Inhaling through the nose, feeling your lower part of your diaphragm with the breath, continuing as your breath fills your middle of your chest, and then finally towards the throat, pausing at the top. Now exhaling, letting it all go from the throat, lowering through your chest, squeezing out all that air in your diaphragm. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, feeling the belly. Now feeling the chest as your chest widens. And now capturing your breath at the top of your throat. Pause. Exhale, let it all go. Take 1 more deep breath in. Deepest breath you've had today. Take a couple more sips of air at the top. Sip, sip, sip. Pause. Keep pausing, retain, exhale, let it all go. All right, now allow your knees to bend, bringing the soles of your feet to touch one another. We're gonna set up for Shavasana in our supine butterfly. So this is perhaps a nice new way for you to end all of your, or any of your active classes. Supine butterfly, knees are bent open, making connection with the ground. You can either use blocks or you can use bolsters. You can put a block in between your feet if you like, if that helps a little bit. Or if you have really open hips, go ahead and remove those bolsters at any point. But again, your belly is fully open for a deep inhale, deep exhale. A very, very nice restorative position. We're going to stay here for at least 7 minutes in this. We go into Shavasana. So you can no longer control your breath. You can just sit here, just be. Allow your hands to be wherever they're comfortable. As you soften your brow, soften your gaze, maybe allow your mouth to exhale with the open mouth exhale. And allowing your tongue to fall towards the back of your mouth. Maybe even have a little bit of adjustment in the crown of your head. So you have a small little tilting to where your head actually looks a little bit higher, adding a different traction point in your skull, but adding a little bit of opening to the C curve of your neck. Just allow yourself here to just enjoy the benefits of Shavasana. Pardon the interruption, but if you do have a bolster and you haven't quite gone to another planet just yet, it also may be nice to put the bolster on top of your open hips as a little bit of a gravity additional touch point. So from here on out, full Shavasana, just enjoy your space, expand yourself across your mat. This is your time for you. slowly coming back to your awareness. Taking a moment to return to your breath, to feel your mat. Maybe feel the temperature of the air in the room across your skin. Scanning your body, feeling the openness, the enhanced flexibility. There's no rush, but if you're ready, you can remove those bolsters or any of those blocks. You may want to use your hands to guide your thighs closed. You can actually do a little bit of a hip closing position where you can bend your knees, but heel toe your feet to the outside of your mat. And just for a little moment, pressing into your feet, just add a little bit of a counter to that wide hip opening. You can also stay here as long as you like. This is your practice. But if you are ready to come back, taking a moment to turn to your favorite side in a fetal position, so guiding your body, you're tucking your knees, allowing yourself just to have a little more time where you feel the new you. The Shavasana represents dying to the old self, and as you are now reborn, walking in the yoga of life, allowing yourself to come up to a seated position with an easy seat, knees crossed. You can sit whatever posture you like. Just going to finish this moment we've shared together. Taking a deep breath in, circling the arms over your head, making connection with your fingertips, guiding your hands down as they cross over your third eye, your throat, your mouth, and they come to your heart center. So feeling tall in your spine, feeling how you've shifted your body just in this couple moments, the new you, the new openness of your mind, your body, your awareness is what you take with you. Closing this time together with the mantra that I am better than no one and no one is better than me. Om, shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace, peace, peace to you and to this world. Namaste. If you're practicing with cats or with friends or loved ones, give some namaste to those that are around you. Thank you for spending this time together. Open to any feedback. I hope that you feel amazing. Looking at the time, we ran a little over. I hope that that's acceptable. And I look forward to our next class together. Thank you.